the things you go through while you trying to learn how to play the piano. How that piano make you frustrated because you can only go so far once you know a certain vocabulary of chords. When you run out of those chords, I mean, when you done got to a point where you done learned just a few chords, then it's time to move forward. And people always say, how do you move forward? And playing, how do I establish my style? See, that's why I always say my style is different than somebody else's style. I know how I like to play and I know how I like to sing. I know I like all 12 keys. It don't matter what the key is. And the only way to learn every key is to practice in every key. Same thing you do in one key, just go down the whole keyboard and do it. That's how you learn you learn your scales. You learn, get on the pentatonic and learn all the different type of scales, the blues scales. And it's so many different scales, but you got to practice, practice, practice. That's the only way to get better. And I went through a whole lot of hard times with the piano. I tell everybody this all the time. And how did I establish my style? Well, I listen at a lot of different music for one thing. That's why I tell people I don't just listen at church music. I got all of my playing out of old school music, jazz, blues. That's how I learned how to play. And that's how I still learn how to play. I listen. I use my ear and I listen to a lot of different things. And I go home and I practice. And then another thing to practice on, I always have to play the bass line. I keep my left hand always updated with running bass lines. I practice different little rips all the time because I know I'm not going to always have a bass player. And I hate that because that takes away my chording. That's how my left hand got handicapped for years, because I had to run a bass line all the time. Or either running a bass line on the organ foot pedals, but that handicapped me. I couldn't chord like I want. I'm still not all the way there with my left hand, but it's getting there because I practice it all the time. I do the same thing with my right with my left. Though there are some chords I can't hit with my left, but I hit with my right because I'm right-handed, and some chords are still hard, but I still can get them. I practice it till I get it. Practice, practice, practice. Notice I didn't say practice make perfect. So I had to look at that in a whole nother scenario when people say practice make perfect. You know what I say? Practice just make me better. Because I find out I wake up every day. I practice, practice, practice all I want, but I would never be perfect on the piano. I'm always sometimes hit wrong notes. I'm not going to be perfect singing with my voice. But this is the thing, you can't perfect what you do. Yeah. Practice don't make perfect to me. Practice just make me better. Yeah. I say that because I tied it in with the way I learned. It took me years. It's going to take me even more years. People think I'm such a dynamic musician. I tell them all the time, no, I'm just learning. I'm just not getting started. And I know that sounds crazy to some people, but people saying, you crazy. No, they don't. You crazy, JT. You cold. In my eyes, I don't think I'm cold. I just think I'm bringing something different. Just like when I look at Jamal Hartwell, I look at my boy A.G. Praise. That's why I'm so sick of people saying who is better than who. Who the coldest out of A.G. Praise and JT. Yeah, I'm sick of stuff like that. Now, it ain't no who's the best. It's what we bringing to the table. A.G. got his own style. I got my own style. I'm not going to play the hymn the same way that A.G. played the hymn. I'm going to put my own style to it. This is why people can't get to where they want on the instruments, because they too busy trying to mimic somebody else's style. No, you have to do you. God bless you with the way that you play. That's how you play. There's too many people trying to mark people. You can't mark people all the time. That messes up your style. See, every musician should get to a point where they know what their style is. And the only way you're going to learn your style is by practicing your style. You'll start noticing when you get your pattern going that, see, if you quit looking at, you got to quit looking at people so much. I mean that in a good way. I love Jamal Hartwell, but if I continue to just look at Jamal on everything that he do, then I won't know who JT is. I learned a lot. You know what I do? I take the stuff from Jamal, A.G. Praise, Mini Man, whoever I'm learning from, I take it and I combine it with what I already know. And that's how I establish my style. Because I don't play like Jamal. People tell me I play like Jamal. When I see that, I don't play like Jamal. Though you might hear some of Jamal's chords in there, but JT gonna have his own style. He might play a 7 a different way. I might play the second inversion of the 7. He might play the first inversion or the third inversion of the 7. So you got to learn. What I did was bought a lot of books, vocabulary. I call it vocabulary. You got to build up your vocabulary. And you can't keep waiting on everybody else to do it for you. If you can't read music, it's still fine. You got books out with picture cards that still tells you the name of so many chords. That's how I learned all of my chords. People think I read piano music all the time, but I read drum music. Yeah, I know what the drum music is. I read I can read the notes above the line. That's how I pick out that music. Guitar music, same way. I pick it out just like that because it might, over the staff, it might say a B7 with a flat 5. I know what that is. I know what a C sus is. I know what a diminished is. I know what a 7 is. I know what a 9 is, a 13. It don't matter what key it is. I trained myself to learn the name of chords. Not sitting here to say I know everything. I don't. I got a long way to go. I don't know the name of all the chords. It's still some stuff I don't know, but I can hit it. But that's why I always tell beginner musicians, don't just hit it. Know what you're hitting. I study every day to study names of chords, the number system. And here's the trick. When you learn a number system, hey, that number system will put you in any key, and you can do great works. It don't matter if the song is in C or if it's in B flat. If it's a basic 1, 4, 5, you know where you're gonna start at, and you know where you're gonna end up at. Yeah. It's just a point of getting out of laziness. And I always said that. I tell people all the time, they get mad at me. JT, you need to come back and start doing these videos. But people don't know JT had to learn the hard way. Years and years and years. I started playing piano when I was young. I started playing in church when I was 15, and I've been playing ever since. And it ain't been easy. If I could tell you how many nights I cried, getting mad and frustrated behind that keyboard. But now when I learn the song, it is so much easier because I know the theory. I know the number system. When you learn the theory, when you learn what you are doing, it makes your job easier. Because some of these songs, you cannot pick out what's going on in them because there's so many instruments in there. I didn't know what a cluster was till I looked at Jamal's DVD. Trying to figure out what was Ty Tribbett doing in them songs. Trying to figure out what is these progressions a lot of these people using. Yeah. And once I started studying it, see, I had to get in my front room, bought all them DVDs. And I went to school in this room, y'all. Me and God and Jamal Hardwell, Cassandra O'Neal, whoever else DVDs I done bought. I get in that front room and I get me a pen and pad, and I might stay in that room 4 or 5 hours straight, sometimes longer than that, without even trying to touch the keyboard because I want to hear the knowledge. See, it's just like learning the song. We too quick to jump on the keyboard and try to figure the song out. No, sometimes just let the song play. Hear the song out. Hear what the bass line doing. Listen at the whole song. Sometimes listen at it 2 or 3 times before you even touch the piano. See, I can learn a song in my head now. I know that sounds crazy to people. What are you talking about? I can hear a song in my head. And that's only a gift from God. I got perfect pitch. That's only a gift from God. I can sit in the back of the church and know what key the preacher's in when he's going in this mode, and I don't even have to be on the organ because I can hear C in my head. I can hear B flat. I can hear the key of G. It's rarely times where I can be off missing that because God blessed me with that. God blessed me with this gift. So it's a thing about quit being lazy. And I mean it out of love and respect. You got to push yourself, encourage yourself. You ain't going to have me pushing you all the time. You see, I'm not even on the keyboard no more, but I'm going to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. And don't give up because we all went through that stage. Me and AG Praise was talking about that the other day, how we stayed up and was getting frustrated behind so many chords, trying to learn a song, taking an hour to learn one song. Now, I can learn a song almost in 5 minutes or less because of the theory. So push yourself, challenge yourself, buy some of these books. Don't be scared. I mean, don't be talking about people selling DVDs. Buy their DVDs. Kenny Hollins is one of the greatest musicians I ever heard. His DVDs are so cheap. He got stuff online for $3 or $4, y'all. Come on. And it is so helpful. And I just use that for an example. Kenny Hollins, I have bought his stuff. Jamal Hardwell, I don't care for DVD. It's $80. I'm going to get it. I paid $79.99 for the one Jamal did. And it taught me so much. It should have been $300 for that DVD. That's how much stuff I learned and plus more. It took me to a whole nother level. Now, that's why I get mad at people talking about he don't need to be charged this. Now, if you would have took your butt to school, you would have paid a whole lot of money. Good God Almighty. And I'm gone on that. God bless.